Well, the Have a Ball Foundation is all about kids helping other kids around the world, and especially Indigenous kids in Australia, in outback communities and very remote areas. I was travelling on a family holiday in Sri Lanka, and we were playing just outside the hotel in a little town called Negombo, and we noticed these kids were playing cricket down on the beach just next door to the hotel. I was with family and with a good mate of mine, Roger, so we decided to go down and ask the kids if we could join in to have a game of cricket. And we noticed that they came down from school every day after school. They'd play cricket on the beach. They were very passionate about their cricket over there. We played every night for about 4 or 5 nights. And then when we decided to leave to do our tour around the country, we decided to see whether they wanted some new equipment, because they were playing with an old cricket bat, a couple of really old tennis balls and just a block of wood for some stumps. So we decided to go down the local market and buy some new cricket bats and some new balls for them and some new stumps. And we presented them to them on the last day when we left. And the response was absolutely amazing. It'd like we'd given them $1 million. Each one of those kids, there was about a dozen kids there. Each one of those kids come and personally thanked us one by one. And the response just blew me away. And that really pulled at my heartstrings at the time, and that was really the defining moment of, wow, how much a difference just a simple probably $5 or $10 out of our pocket to buy them some equipment, how much that made a difference to their lives and how they enjoyed their sport. I felt obliged. I got such a joy to see kids so happy from receiving such a simple item, but that really stuck with me, and it played with my mind a bit as to how we could help further kids. So I wanted to trial that to see whether I got the same response back in Australia. So I approached my kid's local principal to see whether she would be interested in getting on board with having an event at her school. And we had an event where kids could bring a ball to school and donate a new or a used ball. And they turned up to school one day and all the kids got behind it and donated a ball.
The request to bring a ball is a very simple one. It's easy for families, working families, to do. Even when we bring a small ball, we know that that's making a big difference for people. And we know that because when Rowan brings us a presentation from remote areas of Australia and we see the smiles on those faces, we've given a little ball and we've received a beautiful gift, knowing that we've made such a difference.
Once we realised that trialling this concept was quite successful, and not only the school who donated the balls were really backing it and got enthusiastic about donating the balls, but also seeing the response in the Northern Territory from the kids receiving the balls was amazing. So, and also presenting back to that original school some pictures to show the kids. So it was a bit of a two-way connection by educating the kids in the Melbourne schools of how much difference that they've made helping other kids that are less fortunate than them.
One of the most enjoyable aspects of being part of Have a Ball has been the cultural connection between the school communities in remote Australia and in our local community. So particularly the artwork the children have shared with one another and the storytelling they've engaged in. Our children in our community would never have met some of these children had it not been for Have a Ball and the connection they've provided for them and us.
To receive balls from the Have a Ball Foundation for the students at our school, it really means a lot to them. They are very active children, so having a ball in their hand when they're out in the playground is one of the best things it can be, and it keeps them occupied playing a game.
Lilla is a small outstation that has the Wataka School. There's 3 outstations that come to school here. Have a Ball Foundation has been involved with this community for a number of years now, and they've been supplying balls for the kids in this area and also surrounding areas. I've worked here for a number of years, and I've known Rowan, and I think Have a Ball Foundation is an amazing foundation. I feel that getting balls out into remote communities, it gets the kids out of the house, it gets them out kicking a ball around, it gets them exercising, and it just makes them have fun. So all the kids that are donating balls from down south, they go a long way out here.
After a school event or balls received from local sports clubs, we generally package them up in a mixed bag, and we'll bag them up and get them distributed over to our Clayton office, where we have our major sponsor, Chem Couriers, who do a fantastic job in being able to distribute the balls for us. And without them and their great assistance, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Having the Have a Ball Foundation come through regularly supplying balls is a huge asset to the school, because they always keep me in supply of balls, and in our climate and conditions the balls do deteriorate.
For 7 years now we've been holding a sports storytelling festival. It's where we bring kids together to mix with other schools that are in the area, and I'm talking about in the area, a couple hundred k's away. But we bring them together, we give them healthy food, they get to act and do some drama, but also one of the main components is to play sport and activities with balls. And we each year get a whole bunch of balls donated from Have a Ball Foundation, and it goes a long way. And this has been going on, and they've been involved for about 7 years now.
Most of the schools we target to deliver balls to are really remote schools, and most of them will only have kids of around 30 students that will attend those schools. One particular school we visited on this trip recently was a little town called Wallace Rockhole, a beautiful little community in between Kings Canyon and Alice Springs. And we turned up there with a bag of balls, and the principal came out to meet us, and she was so thankful that we'd bought a bag of balls for the kids, and explained that these kids don't get any presents at Christmas time, and what she'd like to do was just put them in her office and store them until Christmas time, and give each kid a ball to take home as a Christmas present, as these kids don't receive any gifts. So she was so thankful for the donations, and that was really pulled on my heartstrings, that these kids don't enjoy Christmas as much as kids in our society who'll get dozens of presents, and these poor kids, it was great to be able to help those kids, that they could take a ball home for their Christmas present.
It's wonderful that the people from the city think about our children and donate the balls, and because it really does mean a lot to our kids in Aboriginal communities, that they get these balls, are able to use them to support their fitness. It supports the school program, and it's just an all-round general benefit for the school. And our kids really do appreciate getting these balls. It's wonderful.
Having visited remote communities in Central Australia and Far North Queensland, I was amazed at the programs and the variety of those programs that were being run by Aboriginal people for their communities. And we don't hear about it. I wouldn't have experienced some of these things without the initiative of Have a Ball, and we want to further nurture that education in our children so they too will become aware of those wonderful programs that are happening with very little help. And hopefully, as Have a Ball is broadening our horizons about Indigenous efforts for their communities and for our country, others will come on board to help this small team do a lot more.
Ultimately, I'd love to see every child in Australia have a ball in their hand, and to be able to engage, be out having fun with other kids in their community, really connecting with them. And if we can get those balls to the schools where they can take a ball home, it even gets them along to school where they get a great education. There's a whole range of downstream benefits that come from that, and that's not only getting good education for employment and the direction in their life, but all the health benefits of eating healthy, getting out, exercising. But the most important thing is about having fun and engaging with other friends in their community.
The Lilla community is very lucky to have a Ball Foundation be involved with them. The Lilla School, the Wataka School, the Udjalariongga School, the Imampa School, the Fink School, they all benefit when they come here and get amongst it, and they all go away with smiles and a footy.
To receive any sort of funding from businesses or individuals will make an amazing difference to how we can grow this foundation to another level and really help kids in need. And that sort of funding can help us resource some staff to be really able to grow the foundation, and also assist with helping communities with supplies at their schools, including equipment and other components such as money that we've used previously in the past to help schools develop. And it might be simple things to do with their health and well-being, and might be planting veggie gardens or citrus plants at their schools, and all those little extra components really go to a long way in helping those children out of those schools grow and develop.
What a privilege to be part of such a program, and we were absolutely delighted to support this very small team making a huge difference.